I was asked about a week ago to take a look at this Timothy Bradley interview and him talking about Ugas Spence and Jerron Boots Ennis and Terrence Crawford and all that. So we're going to go ahead and get into this now. As far as the video requester, sorry for being late. I'm busy. You know, I get to shit when I can, but we here right now, so let's go ahead and do it.
Right. Real quick, Spence Ugas. What do you think of that fight?
I gotta go with Spence, man. You know what? I've been liking the way Spence been looking. I gotta go with Spence. I like the way he's looking. I like the way he sounds. His skin looks good. The eye looks good when I'm watching him. He's been looking good, and I've been liking the interviews I've been seeing. You know, I give Spence a hard time because I want to see him fight against Crawford. You know, and that's why I give him a hard time. Everybody say, "Oh, you always throwing jabs at him." No, I think he's a fantastic fighter. But you know, I just feel that the Crawford fight should be sooner than later.
I think that's what a lot of people want to see. Boxing fans are tired of seeing these old, aged-out fights. You know, we want to see guys while they fight in their prime, while they're still young, while they're still springy, while they're still wiry. But they always trying to age out these fights, and half the time the fights that they aging out is like C-level fights, but they do that because they don't make good fights on the regular. When you think about it, when it comes to the lightweight division between Devin Haney, Gervonta Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson, who am I missing? Ryan Garcia, and all the other guys. When you think about it, like at least two of these guys should have mixed it up already. But instead, we still fighting like sideline appetizer kind of dudes. And that's what you get in boxing. You get a lot of young dudes beating up on old guys. You get a lot of Errol Spence's beating up on the Keith Thurmans, and people still want to fight Pacquiao, and they know Pacquiao past his prime. We know Keith Thurman is done. We know Kell Brook is done. We know all this. You know, what we want to see is two young guys in their prime go at it. We want to see an exciting fight. I think that's any boxing fan at the end of the day.
You understand that? Because if another injury acquired, then we gotta wait a whole another year, bro. And it's like, come on, let's make this fight. So I'm holding him accountable. I'm gonna hold him accountable, and you know, because he said in the past that once he gets the third title, then that's when he'll pursue the Crawford fight.
You know what was funny about watching this interview right here? All the stuff he said is all the stuff that I just recently mentioned. Like, I feel the exact same way. I told people that I was going to pause. You know, a lot of people gave me shit that I was going to pause on what I was saying about Errol Spence. I wanted to see what he did right after, you know, he finished his Ugas fight. And if he wins, if he's going to call out Crawford. Because just like Timothy Bradley, which he talks about, a lot of people take criticism for hate. And it's really, if you're a critical boxing fan and you're not so much a fan of a man, that's how you're going to talk regardless. But when you're a fan of the boxer, when you're a fan of the man, then you respond to people like Timothy Bradley and like me as you're hating, you're giving him a hard time. You just don't like Errol Spence. You don't like motherfuckers from Dallas, you know, all kind of weird ass shit. But listen to this. It's amazingly ironic to me because that's exactly how I feel about the entire situation. I want to see how he acts right after this because I feel like after this fight, if he wins, there's nothing no sideline Errol Spence fangirl can say. Ain't nothing wrong with being a fan, but there's nothing you fangirls can say because we heard him say, wait till he get a belt. We heard all the excuses. We heard this, and you guys lied, made up excuses, and said everything in the world. So now this is going to be my last time doing it because I believe after this, there's no way that an Errol Spence fan can hide because he said once he get the third belt, and this is what y'all been hiding behind. That's why I've been patient with it. That's why I've been cordial about the whole thing because y'all said no, but he said he said he's going to get them 3 belts. He also said once he gets a belt. Then he said he was across the street. I mean, we know all excuses. I ain't got to keep regurgitating it. So I was like, okay, so y'all talk about the 3 belts and all that shit, right? I was like, all right, okay. Well, let's go ahead and see what he's going to do right after this, you know? And Timothy Bradley also brings up the fact that he's fighting these guys coming off, you know, injuries and stuff like that. And just like I said, that's something I had to recognize. So this whole interview was like, it was funny to me because I was like, this is the exact same shit I was saying. That's probably why somebody sent this to me. But let's go ahead.
So once he beats Ugas, because he will, Ugas is perfect. Tailor-made for him. Guy that likes to sit in the front. Guy that likes to cover up, use the high guard. Spence is beautiful coming around those guards, picking down to the body. Guys tuck up like this. You go around to the body, come up on the top. You know, control him with his jab, isolate him here, stab him back down with the left hand down to the body, then come behind with his 2 body shots. I know Spence very, very well. I follow Spence very well. I know him very well. Come around with the right hook. He's a good fighter. He's a great fighter, actually. He really is. And his toughness, and he continues to show that because he continues to fight these guys, man, even coming off an injury, bro. The best guys in the world. So you got to respect that. And I know he's a dog. He is. He's a dog, bro. This dude escaped death. Let's put it that way. Got thrown, ejected from a vehicle. You got to understand that 100-something miles an hour.
Broken
and had a broken bone in his face, I believe. That's it. Unbelievable. You know, so with that shows you right there, he's different. He's built different.
And that's what I've been trying to tell people. Yes, I understand. Nobody understands more than me. The way he's been ducking Terrence Crawford is damn near, it's unnecessary. It looks real bad. Like, he makes it look worse than it actually has to be by the way he's been acting and responding and not acknowledging Terrence Bud Crawford. Yes, that is a fact. Makes him look like a straight up coward. You know, it is coward shit. You know, it's diva shit also. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to call it, it's all that. But that's why I said, just because I say that doesn't mean I can't recognize when he's doing some dog shit. And like I said, and I'll say again, you have to admit, most of the people that's been put in Errol Spence situation and dealing with the injuries that he has had to deal with would not fight and do what he's doing. I don't get what's so hard about understanding that for some people.
Without a doubt. Then he had the injury, but before that he came back and he faced who? Hard-hitting Danny Garcia.
Are you mad if he goes to Thurman after Ugas?
Yeah, because look, I'll tell you why I'm mad. So you saw all the pay-per-views, right? So when you hear all this stuff about, you know, what PBC and all that, you hear all this stuff, oh, Crawford don't sell pay-per-views. Did you see how many Thurman sold? How many pay-per-views Thurman sold? Did you see that?
We all know that was just a bullshit excuse. I mean, you know, it's times like this, you got to love Timothy Bradley. You know what I'm saying? He keep that shit 100% funky.
So if Crawford can't sell, Crawford did a hell of a lot more pay-per-views than what the hell Thurman did, then what are we talking about, people?
And real quick, that's where people got to understand that that's just a bullshit-ass talking point. Because sometimes the fighter doesn't necessarily have to be somebody that sells the most. That's not what sells, okay? The matchup, you know, the dancing partner between the two fighters, that's what makes the fight sell. Let's say Terrence Crawford don't sell shit, okay? You match him up with Errol Spence, and that fight is going to be big simply because of the two that's matched up, you know? And I'm pretty sure that fight will do better numbers than any fight that Errol Spence has had. So the fighter doesn't have to be big. The fight is big. You know, you want an example? Look at Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. He didn't sell like that till he matched up with Deontay Wilder. Then all of a sudden they did some good numbers. And nobody's saying that they was astronomically great. You know what I'm saying? But it was enough to get his 20 million and whatever and whatnot, you know, so the two together, and then he took the momentum off that, and now he's doing what he's doing right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's not always about, oh, this fighter doesn't sell this. The matchup sells. You ain't got to worry about the fighter. Just you fighting this guy, the matchup will sell alone.
Stop it. You think Thurman sells more than Crawford? Stop. Save that. No, I don't want to see the Thurman fight. I want to see him fight Ugas, beat Ugas, and then go at Crawford.
But wouldn't it make sense for Spence to fight Ugas and then maybe for Crawford to fight Thurman then?
Thurman don't want nothing.
Well, but I'm just saying.
Thurman don't want nothing.
Why in the fuck would Bud Crawford do that? Why in the hell would he fight Keith Thurman? We already know what the second play is going to be. Keith Thurman is old. He's aged the fuck out. He ain't been the same fighter forever. And it'll be all true. You know, Thurman just collecting checks when he need him here and there. He's another Danny Garcia. Y'all know y'all wouldn't give him credit for beating Keith Thurman. Stop playing. What is Errol Spence saying about Ugas beating Pacquiao now? Pacquiao was just a shell of himself. Okay, now tell me, where does that sound familiar? When Terrence Bud Crawford fought Sean Porter. Sean Porter's a damaged fighter. Blah. Come on, man. Come on, man. Stop acting like y'all don't know that that's what's going to be said. So why even fucking send him that way? Just more divergence for more bullshit. Hell, fuck no, don't nobody want to see that fucking fight. That can happen afterwards. But other than that, hell no, don't nobody want to see that fucking fight. Danny Garcia either. They just check collecting at this point. That's all that shit is. He'll go and fuck around and beat Thurman. Y'all gonna say Thurman old and he ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it wouldn't be true. It would be true. But y'all know damn well you wouldn't give him credit for that. So stop trying to fucking delay what you know needs to happen. I'm sick of motherfuckers in these questions like this.
So
Thurman don't want none, man. Thurman don't want none of no Crawford.
What should Crawford do in the meantime, though? Because he can't just wait around. I mean,
What do you mean? I think you guys, the media, need to push these guys into fighting them. That's at the end of the damn day. It's not about, oh, he can't sell, he can't that. Everybody use that as an excuse, bro.
Thank you, Tim. Now, he just told y'all what the fuck it is. I don't want to hear nothing out of y'all mouth. That's a professional fighter. Was a professional fighter. Whatever. Y'all know that's just an excuse at the end of the fucking day. Y'all know what's supposed to happen. Y'all trying to come up with this, that. Stop the bullshit. Because one thing I notice about boxing fans, when you're confident about the so-called fighter that you either coddling or wrapping in wool, when you're confident they can do something, you're eager to go see them go fight this person and go fight that person and go fight this person. When you don't have the confidence in your fighter, oh, you need to go do this and you need to go do that and you need to build your name and you haven't fought nobody and you need to sell more. It's all fucking fanboy ass excuses that boxers hide behind because of this fucked up fanboy ass era. Soft ass shit.
Boots,
It's an
Ennis
excuse.
wants that fight. He wants to fight Crawford.
See, and you know what? I understand that, but what's that stake for Crawford? What's that gonna do for him?
right. What's the value? Right.
What is that gonna do for him?
But you just said that the media needs to push certain fights. That's a great fight.
Oh, you think it's a great fight?
I feel the same way too. Look at his face. He said, oh, you think it's a great fight? Yeah, see, y'all want to push these certain fights at the right time when it's not on the pressure of your fighter. Man, whoever these interviewers are, you know, they borderline fanboys, they damn self, man. Nobody want to hear that shit, man. And this is actually the whole reason why I even did this fucking video, just to get down to this part right here. So y'all can figure out what the fuck Tim is talking about when it comes to Jerron Boots Ennis. Let me say this. I noticed as soon as Jerron Boots Ennis came out and said he wanted to fight Errol Spence, okay? He said he wanted to fight Errol. Ever since he said he wanted to fight Errol Spence, all you Errol Spence fanatics have been trying to push Boots Ennis off on Terrence Bud Crawford. Terrence Bud Crawford is something that he tussled around with eventually. But when they asked Boots Ennis who he wants to fight next, he could have said Terrence Bud Crawford. He didn't. He said Errol Spence. And ever since then, y'all been trying to push Boots Ennis off on Terrence Bud Crawford. Okay? Because you want Terrence Crawford to so-called be dealing with a threat, just like Errol Spence is dealing with a threat in Terrence Bud Crawford. The problem is, y'all don't know what the fuck y'all looking at when y'all look at these fucking boxing matches. And anybody will tell you that that's a premature matchup. Like a motherfucker. Okay? Now, like he said, what does that benefit Terrence Bud Crawford? It doesn't. Once again, that's like fighting Keith Thurman. Okay? Because, hold on, let's be real here. Let's say he go ahead and he fight Jerron Boots Ennis. He starches him. You know what they're going to say? Well, he hasn't proven himself. He hasn't fought anybody yet. Do you see that? Do you see that pitfall right there? The same thing. You either want him to fight somebody prematurely or somebody old, knowing damn well you're not going to give him credit for fighting nobody old like Keith Thurman and nobody who really hasn't proved themselves but looks very good by the eye test, Jerron Boots Ennis. Y'all keep setting these fucking traps for y'all to lay out y'all excuses later on. Don't nobody want to hear that shit. Now we going to get into why Timothy Bradley doesn't think that's a good matchup. Because this is what I did the whole fucking video for in the first place.
Between Thurman, Crawford and Boots. Yeah,
Really?
Sure. Yeah. I guess I don't know shit about
Crazy?
boxing, man. I guess
Against
I don't.
Terrence, Bud, Crawford? Are you kidding me?
So you think it's a whitewash then?
No, I don't think it's a whitewash, but I can tell you this. Somebody going to sleep and it ain't going to be Crawford.
Wow.
working right here.
You crazy.
So Tim,
Crawford versus
wow.
who? This comes.
Tim,
No, I said Crawford versus Boots. I said
You
Crawford.
crazy, man. Y'all better put some respect on Terrence Crawford's name. I'm letting y'all know right now. Put some respect on my boy's name.
Tim Crawford.
Thank you, appreciate it.
See y'all later, man.
Thank you, man.
Who good, man? I mean, come on. I like Boots, but hey, who he fought that's like, you gonna be like, oh, he can take Crawford. Who he fought?
Nobody.
And then he gets touched up in those fights. Now imagine Crawford touching this.
Now you heard what Tim say. He said who he fought. Man in the back was like nobody. So that already let you know right there. Oh, he ain't fought nobody, so why in the fuck do you want him to fight a Terrence Bud Crawford? For him to beat him, for you, the same person turn around and say, oh, well, you know, Jerron hadn't fought anybody, so his ass wasn't proven. Then why the fuck was you sending him that way in the first fucking place? See, these motherfuckers ain't nothing but bear traps when it comes to these dudes. Anything to protect a man. Good God Almighty. Now, let's talk about what he talked about. What he talked about is right. Jerron Boots Ennis is the shit. But we got to see him up against somebody who can pose the same threat that he does to other people. And what Timothy Bradley is talking about is Jerron Boots Ennis is great, but he got some defensive holes that he need to severely seal up. You know what I'm saying? Before he get to that elite level. Because he's a great fighter, but those risky open mistakes will cause him to get knocked out. Not so much that Terrence so good that he'll floor him and knock him out, even though he is. It's the way he leaves himself open. You know what I'm saying? But let me give you an example of what Timothy Bradley is talking about.
On the inside. Through out of nowhere. Height reach very effective.
And Lipinet's able to close the...
Through out of nowhere.
Punches, he wants to go at it. Wow! Punches, he wants to go at it. Wow!
Punches, he wants to go at it.
Nobody.
And then he gets touched up in those fights. Now imagine Crawford touching this.
Now, Timothy Bradley didn't tell you no wrong. This is why he says if you put Jerron Boots Ennis in there with somebody like Terrence Bud Crawford, he'll get put to sleep. So it wasn't like not giving Jerron Boots Ennis, not giving him his credit and just, you know, jocking Terrence Crawford. He see the same thing that I see. And Jerron Boots Ennis need to tighten that up. I think it's more of a stylistic thing with him more than something that he refuses or can't correct. I think he just, you know, probably tries to put on a little bit more exciting fights. But you have to understand at that level, when you leave yourself open like that, having somebody like Crawford hit you is not something that you're really going to bounce back from. And that's all Timothy Bradley is saying at the end of the day. And that's what he sees. Anyways, that's my thoughts on this. I'm out.